Alrighty guys, I'm finally getting around to do the 1-year review on the Hillcrest dump trailer. I know it's a little late, or not a little late, but I just haven't got around to doing it yet. I know my last Hillcrest dump trailer review did really good because I know there's not many or any at all reviews as far as real world people using these. I see a lot of videos where dealers get them and make a little just video real quick just showing, oh, look at this, it goes up and down. Nothing really useful at all as far as real world using it every day and how it holds up, because any dump trailer can be great when you first get it. It really comes down to how it is after a year, and this one's still kicking, and there's not really been any major issues. I'm just gonna point out, you know, some of the wear things. I mean, no wear things as far as mechanical issues, just more so just showing you how the paint's held up inside, the flooring, the sidewalls, all of the, you know, components as far as that goes, the doors, just anything I can think of, the tarp. So yeah, I know that there's not any Hillcrest reviews out there, and I know no other channel's doing this, so if anyone at Hillcrest sees this video and wants to have me out, and I'll review some other trailers and do some overviews of some other trailers, try to get some more like actual person interaction with them instead of just dealers, make sure to hit me up in the comments and we'll do something. But until then, I'm just gonna start going over this Hillcrest dump trailer. This is the one with the 8K axles. If you haven't watched my first video, make sure to go watch it. That one will probably be a little bit more in-depth. This one will just be going over it a little bit. That one will kind of show going up and down, everything like that. You know, I'll go up a little bit, but not all the way up, obviously. And just, you know, show a little bit of stuff. First off, I want to show inside the the bed, or the dump body itself. Here's how the paint's holding up. As you can see, it's holding up pretty well. Obviously, this thing's probably had, I want to say, 150 loads of gravel, dirt, mulch, logs, brush, debris, all kinds of stuff. If you can see right there, here, let me get it up close of everything in here. So here's the walls right there. They're still straight. Hopefully y'all can see that down through there. They're still straight. No real dents in the walls at all. Little right here, but this was a little one right here from whenever we first got it. A log here right here, and it's barely just a little divot. But other than that, as far as anything else goes, there's nothing there. And it was a very big log. All the welds in the floors holding up real nice. This is the one-piece floor, 7-gauge one-piece floor. Just kind of let y'all see all that right there. These are the welds right here. This is the paint. It's pretty much, there's a little bit, but it's pretty much just metal right here. Just from, you know, it happens to every single dump trailer. There's really nothing you can do about it unless you just get in here and powder coat it every month or something. But the rest of it is just mainly right here in your main wear area. Wherever most of your material comes out is wherever the most wear is, obviously. The only pilling that we're having, per se, is right up here on like the little thing where it shoots out a little bit for the cylinders that connect. Right there. There is a little bit of pilling just in this area. Sorry, some 89 gravel just stuck up here. And it kind of bubbles right here, but that's about the only issue as far as pilling goes on this whole bed. Kind of does that, but I mean, little issues. If you use it, this is the most rusty it's been. We haven't used it in about a week or so, but when you're using it all the time, it stays, all the surface rust stays off of it. You never really even notice it. So other than that, you don't. The hooks right here, they're still doing great. Since the previous video, we've hauled a Kubota SVL. Yeah, SVL 65 in here. I fit in great, everything. The hooks are in great location. Perfect for anything. Your stake pockets, we built sides. Let me zoom in. We built those sides right there that go in them. They slide right in. We built it, it'll stick up about this far. And stake pockets are great. You have stake pockets all along the sides, and you have 2 stake pockets right here. Here's the tarp. It's just a basic black tarp. Held up great. It hasn't had no cuts, tears, anything like that. I love this step right here. It's perfect position. Perfect position to get in and out. And then the fenders. I love these fenders. I see a lot of other companies have heavy duty fenders, and these are most definitely heavy duty fenders. They are beefy for sure. I love how Hillcrest has a lot of lights all over their trailers. Lights here, which this one on the build sheet or whatever, it said it came with the LED package, but if you look on their website, they all come with the LED package. So it's Hillcrest, they're kind of loaded. Like as far as feature goes, they're pretty much loaded from the factory, to a point of, obviously there's a few little minor things here and there that are going to be a little different on them, but most of them are pretty much the same. Obviously you're going to have an option for hydraulic jacks and your different axles, but the trailers themselves, most of them are going to be different. When you get into the goosenecks, that's when you're starting to get into being able to have different options, especially your hydraulic tilt decks and what all that inclines to. You can see here all day. Here's the doors. They're holding up pretty good. Obviously there's going to be they're pretty scratched up because it gets used, there's no doubt about it. One little thing we had to do is right here, we had to this like little wire, it kind of wore off right there, so we had to put a new one on. So everything like that's great. They've got the logos on the back, covering up the Hillcrest logo a little bit, but it's okay. Lots of DOT stickers everywhere. I know that's mandatory, but figured I'd point that out. Here's the door. Swings open. Here's the inside of the doors. They're doing great. Hold real great. Here's that one-piece floor right here. 7-gauge floor. Real thick, nice floor. Great for trees, everything like that. The floor, hopefully y'all can see that. It may not zoom in. Y'all cannot see that at all. But it is straight. There's no dents in it at all. Same with the walls. Put that. Yeah, it won't zoom in. But there's your doors. This one goes in first. And as far as welds go, obviously you're gonna have a few welds that aren't the prettiest, but where the welds count, you can go look right here and you'd be like, oh, that weld's crap. And then you look right here, you got a nice weld right there. And then you come to the door and they were laying down some pretty welds right here, all down through here. I mean, where the welds count, they're good welds. And it's not like all, like where the welds don't count, they're not good welds either. They're all good welds. You just might have one or two, but that's with any trailer really. So I hear people say that the Hillcrest, when it comes to that, it's not that great, but weld quality, but we haven't had an issue about ours. And we've been overloaded, and I would think if we were overloaded like we were, if one of the welds, structural welds, was weak, it was gonna bust, and it did not. So we did get to use our little drop down legs when we were loading that skid steer. Worked great. You know, pretty much like that. Now I do keep this thing pretty well greased. Grease all the zerks in here. Tires have held up great. These are still the original tires. Oil bath axles. We're gonna maintenance our axles soon, and change the oil and whatever else that inclines to. Whenever they're new, the tires that is, it's recommended after the first like 250 miles to go and retorque all these lug nuts to about 150, 200 foot-pounds, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Do your own research when it comes to that stuff, but you know, just make sure you retorque them after the first 200, 250 miles. So, and the brakes also have a wearing period of 200, 250 miles. So after that period, they'll be a lot stronger. And, you know, obviously over time, they'll start to get a lot stronger once they wear in and everything like that. Here's my only complaint is right in there. You'll see that grease zerk right there. Yeah, y'all can just kind of see the red cap to it, maybe. You can kind of see it right there. Just the red cap. There's no way to even get to that grease zerk without having like to just kill yourself trying to get to it, because right here, if y'all can see that gap, there's like a little bit, so like that's hollow right in there, but it's not like hollow enough where you can get to the bottom of it, and you can't get in from like, you can't get in from this way, so it's pretty much pointless. But I did go back on the back of the door. I believe I mentioned this in my other review, and I put new grease zerks on the door hinges because the other ones were painted over. But if y'all just get a little overview, the paint still looks great on it. We did have one DOT sticker right here fall off a long time ago, but other than that, it's doing great. Tires are holding up great. I do want to point this out. I know on the new Hillcrest trailer, on some of the new Hillcrest trailers that I've seen, dump trailers that is, that in here they have an interstate battery, metal hydraulic tank, and I also believe they also have a different lift cylinder as well. It just looks a little bit different, but it's still a 12-ton lift cylinder and everything. Maybe a different motor, don't quote me on that, but as far as controls and everything goes, it's about the same. Here's the manual 12,000-pound jack. Works just like any other jack. I mean, definitely everybody, we wish we would have went with the hydraulic version, because everybody we talk to is like, man, once you get a hydraulic, never go back. But this one works pretty easy. So I mean, you may have an issue here or there, like, man, I wish I had it, but it's never like killing yourself over it. It definitely works just fine. This is about the only like part on the whole unit that's kind of the paint starting to fade on it a little bit. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's just like right in here, it kind of oxidizes almost right in there. Not sure about that, but I mean, it's not Hillcrest's fault, it's just the one they use, so I mean, you can't really blame them for that. I mean, it works great, it's just the paint's a little whatever. You can throw some black spray paint on it and forget about it. I really like, though, how, I know they're all like this, but I like the hydraulic cylinder, or little lift cylinder things, that way it closes or opens by itself. The trickle charger that connects to your truck charges this battery like no other. I mean, I hear about people all the time saying, yeah, I hook it up to my truck and it barely charges. This one will keep this battery completely full, dumping it. You know, you might dump it 5-6 times and it'll still be completely full, and it'll keep up with how much you're using the battery. But it does have a little charger on the side, so you can plug it in. If you do end up somehow draining it a lot, if you're not hooked up and you're just dumping it a ton or something, then you can hook it up once you get home. Here's your safety chains, the little hook. Obviously right there you can have a little bit of scratches just from sliding this in. So I mean, that's one thing. And obviously there's going to be spots driving down the road, rocks hitting, you're going to have little chips and stuff, you know, just little corners and stuff where there's going to be little rust spots. But after a year, definitely not, the thing's not rusting out or anything. Right here on the handle, I will say water gets and sits in there, and as you can see, it's real rusty. But other than that, I mean, this works great. Trying to look and see if there's any big spots I haven't noticed so I can show y'all, because just be as transparent as possible. These are also supports to keep the wall nice and sturdy as well. Yeah, just trying to look and see. Here's some information and stuff. Made in the USA. They are built in Sweetwater, Tennessee, unless they've got another factory. But I do know that they have been built in Sweetwater. Well, sorry guys, I ran out of storage in my phone. But anyway, I think I was saying pretty much it comes with a 21,000 pound rated Demco hitch. Pretty standard in the business. Everybody's pretty much using Demco now. It's got the one where you take this out. You don't leave this up. Most of the time, whenever we unhitch, we just leave it up. That way, remember to put the pin in. But you can put this down, and whenever your ball slides back onto it, it'll just do it by itself. You don't even have to be back here. But it is. I'm not sure if it's recommended. I think it is. I think Demco recommends that you have the safety pin in, but they say it won't come out. But I'd rather have that safety pin in there and never have to worry about it than be going down the road and it pop up. But they say it never does. But rather be safe than sorry. I mean, just pretty welds all over. The beams are real sturdy. I forget what these are. These are something beams. It's been so long. This thing's done so great, and we haven't really had to do too much to it as far as maintenance or anything. Too big. Raise this up so y'all can see underneath it. Now, one thing I do want to point out once this gets up a little bit. Oh my goodness, sorry guys, it ran out of storage again. Oh, I think I was talking about raising this up and showing y'all under here. Here, let me put this thing up. Always put that up if you're gonna look under here. Hopefully it lines up. Oh. Alright, so safe to look under here. Here's a look under here. It's very clean under here, actually. I've actually never really got super under here and looked at all the beams and everything. Here's a look. There's all your axles. Dang, okay. Yeah, I've never actually got under here and super looked. Now, one thing I want to look at, though, which really I should have this more up, but right here is your pivot. Right there, hopefully y'all can see that. That's your pivot where your whole dump bed pivots on these bolts right here, and it's getting real squeaky, as y'all could probably hear. And I'm wondering if there's grease zerks in there somewhere. See, it doesn't look like there's any grease zerks, which is kind of a bummer. Or like if you had to get in there with some silicone spray or something and try, which, if you gotta do, you gotta do. But I would like for them to be a grease zerk on there. That would be a nice touch, but can't have everything, I guess. But that's kind of one of those things, like, you really need to have a grease zerk on that as much as it gets dumped. But I'll do some more looking on it and see if there is, and do a little short on it. But as of right now, I do not believe that there is. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the Hillcrest trailer. I have said in the past, this is the best dump trailer for the money, and I still believe that it is the most well-built and stout dump trailer for the money. But I want to be transparent, as I know a lot of people run those top shelf dump trailers and swear by them, and those are cheap, and they do look well built. I believe there's a guy outside of Atlanta, I can't think of his YouTube name, man, I can't think of it, but he has a ton of top shelf, and he just got a new super big top shelf, and it does look really nice, well built. But this one, looking at a comparable top shelf and a comparable, without looking at them in person and obviously just seeing them online and getting to use the top shelf, this one with the comparable 8K axles, 2-foot side, 14x7, just the overall standing back and looking at it looks a lot beefier for say. Y'all can have your opinion on that. I have mine. This one I've been able to use in real life and been able to experience what it can do and what it can't do. And we haven't ran into what it can't do yet. So that's definitely talking on how beefy these are, because we've had a lot of weight in them. A lot of dirt, a lot of dirt. Red clay dirt. Not that that really matters. Dirt's dirt. But y'all do know how heavy some 5, 6, 7 yards of red clay dirt can be. And we were pushing probably close to, I want to say 16, 17,000 pounds of dirt in this trailer. And it didn't like it. You could tell that the tires were starting to squat a little bit and the leaf springs were definitely clapped down on them, but it still dumped it, drove down the road, and didn't break. Nothing broke on us, didn't bend the axles. These tires are still as straight as the day we got them. Didn't overheat. The hubs were still nice and cool. Or not cool, but, you know, they weren't, like, hot to the touch. They weren't so hot you couldn't touch them. You know, you could grab them, and they were warm, but not burning. And I know they've went up, Hillcrest. I know they've went up a little bit. I don't know exactly what this exact trailer would cost now. I believe it's in the $14,999 range to $15,000 range. So it has gone up around $1,000, $1,500, maybe close to $2,000, depending on your area. And I know it really goes by dealer. I know some dealers could have them as cheap as, you know, lower 14s all the way up to mid 15s for this exact dump trailer. And I do know now they have the 777 dump trailers, which I don't recommend, because yes, you have more payload, but you know, you have 3 medium duty axles that are having to endure a lot more stress than just 2 medium duty axles by themselves, because this front axle is skipping and hopping all the time, and you're really just going to wear it out real quick. And that additional weight, even though you're having the 3 axles, I mean, it's a grease hub, so you know, grease and oil are obviously not made the same. Grease is going to get a lot hotter, not be able to run as cool, and I just feel from all the research I've done, you're going to have a lot more issues, maintenance, stuff like that down the road. But it is the cheaper way, quicker way to be able to get that extra payload, because, you know, your GVWR is 21,000, so, you know, your payload is probably right around 16, 17,000 on Hillcrest. Hillcrest is one of the only ones that really rate their trailers to the max. You can get right here. The payload capacity on this trailer is 12,845 pounds. It's a lot of weight. A lot of weight for this size dump trailer. I think it's probably best in class as far as with the 8K axles. I know Diamond C, and I know Diamond C has a trailer that's a 14, but I believe it only comes in the gooseneck with 10K axles in this same size. And I will say, I think Top Shelf, you know, if you called them up, I think they do a lot of custom work. So if you called them up and said, hey, I want this, then I think they would do it. But I'm just saying, their mass-produced unit versus Hillcrest mass-produced unit, I don't know. If I ever get the opportunity to look at one, I might change my mind. But right now, as far as I know, Hillcrest doesn't really have anybody that's out here using them every day. I know that I've seen them. I've seen them a lot more in East Tennessee, people using them all the time and really starting to get them out there. And I know their dealer network's growing a lot, but I believe I've seen one other short on YouTube, but it's mostly just dealer. And I really just want everyone to be able to see, you know, this is what a Hillcrest dump trailer is. And because I'm not getting anything out of this, but I just feel like it's a great dump trailer. So I figured everyone should be able to have a good understanding whenever they're coming in to buy one or buying a dump trailer in general. I see a lot of people talking about the Lamars, the Iron Bulls, the Load Trails, how great they are. This is the best dump trailer in the game. This is the best dump trailer in the game. But then they're $17,000, $18,000, $19,000 for less payload, exact same components, just the name brand for say. See, these, I'm not 100% sure on what the brand is, but these are sister company to Dexter axles, so they're basically Dexter axles. I'm almost 100% sure that these take the exact same parts as Dexter axles. They just don't say Dexter on them. And, you know, for some people, that's a big turnoff. But, you know, if you're trying to get the best bang for your buck and get the same quality as some of these other brands without the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 more price tag, then this is the way to go. Because this dump trailer is we've never had any mechanical issues or anything like that. And I see videos all the time, which obviously this is just our dump trailer, and we haven't been able to really talk to anyone else with these dump trailers. So sorry for that background noise. So, you know, who knows? There may be more breakdowns than what this one's had. But as far as breakdown go, I see a lot more on YouTube of people with other brand trailers having breakdowns and mechanical hydraulic failures than I have Hillcrest, which, you know, obviously I haven't seen anyone else on YouTube talking about them either. So that could go both ways. You know, do your own research, go look at one in person, talk to your rep, talk to your dealer. You know, some people don't have them near them. Some people have to drive. But just really, if you're in the market for one, just go check it out. You know, look at it for yourself. You know, I'm just kind of giving you an idea. It's a great dump trailer. I'd buy another one. We're definitely looking in the market to buy their new gooseneck down the road. Their new engineered gooseneck. Want to do a video on one because no one, like I said, no one has any videos on them. So, Hillcrest, if you see this, let me do a review on one. But like I said, it's a great dump trailer. Buy another one. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure to go check out some of my other videos on the Hillcrest dump trailer. Get to see it in live. I'll throw in some clips, obviously, before this in the video of us dumping. And yeah, it's just a great dump trailer. I wouldn't recommend it enough. Obviously, you're not going to have some of the features you would on the name brands, obviously, like, you know, electric tarps and stuff like that. But that's stuff you can do yourself if you really, really wanted it. But this is just a great, you know, working man dump trailer, you know. So, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure to go watch all the other videos, and thanks, guys.